up YouTube? Nathan Heightz here once again, and if you click on this video, you're probably interested in getting some tattoo removal. You have some shitty tattoo that you just don't like, or you've probably seen my home tattoo removal video and you're interested in the deal with the laser tattoo removal. For those of you who don't know, I've been getting laser tattoo removal for almost a year, and that's basically what I'm going to be talking about in this video. In this video, first I'm going to cover my experience, the before and afters. It's been about a year. I've had 7 sessions. I was originally quoted 12 sessions, but I think it's going to be a little more. We're going to cover that, then we're going to cover the pain, and then we're going to cover the cost. Okay, and we'll talk about some of your other options. So watch to the end of this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and feel free to comment. I try to respond to everybody that I can. So, first things first, let's see my results after 7 sessions and 1 year. A little bit more than a year actually. We've waited 2 months between sessions, and this is what we got so far. It's still the shadow. It's still a lot of spots are still dark, as you can see, but as you will see, it's a lot lighter than it used to be, and you will see the before picture inserted here. Here you go, check it out. Also a little hand shot. I don't really have too many old pictures from when I first got the removal. I don't know why. I'm not too good at saving pictures, but here's a picture of my hand now. This one, okay, and the other one. So it is coming off slowly but surely. As you can see from these before pictures, my tattoos were pretty dark and very visible. You could easily tell what they were, more or less. And now, if you look at them, especially the ones on the side of my face, you can't tell what they are or what they even said. Even the cross under my eye that I used to have, it's pretty much invisible, like it's not there anymore. Some of the other tattoos, for example, the writing above my eyebrows is finally starting to break up, even though it's still very dark. A lot of people can't really read it. Maybe they're just not familiar with the font or whatever, but yeah, the ones on my neck as well, they are also getting pretty light. All the darkest tattoos that I had are still pretty dark, so those are pretty much the toughest ones to take off, obviously, because they were just solid black. Even though it's been a year, I did understand that it was going to take a long time to remove these tattoos. After all, they're supposed to last forever, so I'm not complaining or anything. I'm just saying that after a year, they're still pretty visible. I was originally told it would take 2 or 3 years for them to be gone, so I'm looking forward to the future results. This picture right here is basically the before and after of how my tattoos looked after or before the last session that we had. So since that, here I've had 1 more session, and yes, now let's talk about the pain, right? It is pretty grueling. Here's a picture immediately after my last session. You can see all the redness and the swelling. It looks pretty gruesome. In all honesty, it's not as bad as it looks, because it does look pretty fucking bad. And right here it looks like I just went through some real shit, like I was tortured or something. And it is kind of torture, but at the end of the day, it only lasts for to do all these areas, including my hands, it maybe takes 10 minutes, which is nothing, because to tattoo them all together, the hours spent has been, I don't know, it took a long time. So even though it hurt, I would give it definitely like a 9 out of 10. It almost feels like hot oil is like popping on your skin, which is not fun, but it's definitely bearable, especially for the short times. Not everybody's going to have a bunch of tattoos like me that they want removed. A lot of people are going to have like a name or something, and a name would take literally like 10 seconds, or like a little, you know, your little 3 dots by the eye or anything like that would take literally 1 second. So it's not that bad. It looks horrible though. Now I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the price Prices range, and it's going to depend on your hustle, and it's going to depend on your willpower and your people skills as well. But generally here in Los Angeles, it ranges from free to a lot of money, okay? So if you're going the free route, what's going to happen is you're going to have to be put on a waiting list more than likely, or you're going to have to just show up and really talk to them and see what they can work out for you. But a place that does it around here, I believe they have a place in Chinatown. It's called Homeboy Industries. And from what I've heard, they've had a 2-month waiting list. But then one day I talked to someone on the bus and they told me that they just walked in and they got a session. So I don't know. You'd have to go check it out. Just Google them, Homeboy Industries, and you can get it for free. There's other spots that I've been to with friends and whatnot where they've gotten large areas removed for $100 a session. And those places are cool. A lot of the times they're like at a church or something of that nature, and they're cheap. You definitely get what you pay for. They are very, at times, unprofessional. They kind of like pose as they're trying to help the community, but they're really all about the money. I mean, I heard a lot of the stuff they were saying. They were basically, you know, my friend didn't have much money. He really needed help. He was basically like on food stamps, and they were trying to take all of his food stamp money. Like, he explained it to him like, oh, it's this, I only get $200 a month, and you know, blah blah. Basically telling him like he's a bum, and they wanted all of it. And they asked him how much money was in his pocket. So that's that. Another thing that was pretty unprofessional there was I saw them doing it and they zapped one of his moles. And they just like laughed, and then he's like, dude, that's not a tattoo, that's my mole. And then they just laughed about it and said, oh, my bad. And that was pretty unprofessional, considering that zapping moles can cause cancer and end your life early. But anyways, you basically get what you pay for. There's other places too that charge a lot more, up to $50 per square inch of tattoo per session. So let's say you had like a name, it would probably be like, I don't know, like 6 or 7 inches long by 2 tall. That's about $1,200 a session, and they usually will like cut it in half, like as a deal or something. So let's say it's $600 a session times 10. So for a name, it'll be like $6,000. These places, you definitely get what you pay for. They give you all the information you need. They actually have photos of real results that they can prove that their laser removal is successful. I also noticed before I started getting this laser removal that a lot of the pictures on a lot of websites are the same. So basically they're not using their actual before and after pictures. They're just stealing them off the internet and using them just to get people to come in, and that to me is pretty unprofessional. So where I currently go is Dr.tattoff. It is a pretty expensive place, but they do work with you. They can do it in packages or sessions, whatever, and I've actually talked them down to a pretty reasonable price. Maybe you talk to them and do a little promoting for them, do a little, go hand out some flyers, and really just go in there and talk to them, because you never know what you can get. They might be like, fuck you, get out of here. Well, they're not gonna say fuck you, but they might just say, we can't do this, or they might, so just go in there, see what you can do, and get it to work. Overall, like I said, the price of tattoo removal, laser removal, is definitely way better than any home tattoo removal that you're going to get, especially on visible areas. It ranges from very free to very expensive, depending on your income. The pain is pretty bad, but it's going to be bad anywhere you go, and I also find that it hurts less at the more expensive places. I don't know if their lasers are just newer and better or what, or they take the time or they actually know what they're doing. They actually have nurse practitioners, imagine that, operating the machines. So I would definitely aim for the not free version, but yeah, I'll have some links in the description to some places in LA that are pretty cheap, and also Homeboy Industries and the place where I go, so you guys can all check it out. But anyways, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and once these tattoos are gone, I'll be making another update, or maybe I'll make one in between then and now. I have a lot of cool videos coming up soon, so don't forget to subscribe and stay cool, people. Peace. Peace.